Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. This is Country Road Entertainment. We're back inside the studio practicing social distancing. Today we have on special guest Jaty Edwards from Jaty and the Black Stallions. For those of you who are new here, and a reminder to those who are not new here, back in 2019, actually we do it almost every year, we ran a contest where the folks in Arizona got to vote for their favorite top 5 country music bands, and these are again local country music bands. I just want to emphasize on that. And one of our winners that year was Jaty, and we're going to go ahead and bring him on the air. We're going to chat with him. We're going to talk about life as a musician during this whole coronavirus crisis nonsense, and what we should be looking forward to seeing once this is all over. I'm sure they got some plans. I mean, heck, we all do. We did before it started. So there's that. And then during the whole process here, we're going to have the rest of the band are going to be popping in and out during the show. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Jaty on the air now. Hopefully he's ready for us.
What up, Eddie?
Hey, how you doing, Jaty?
Man, doing good. Good to see you. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, it's been a minute. How you doing?
Doing good. So I heard you talking about what it's like being a musician right now. You know, it's just like before you ever got out playing in the bars or anything, just playing at home, learning new songs.
Yeah, you picking up some new songs while you're at it, I take it?
Yeah, that's kind of the plan. Working on new stuff with the band when we can, and then kind of writing new stuff as well. We just put some new music out. So that's kind of the plan, is try and take advantage of this downtime for the time being.
Well, I mean, you can look at it one of two ways. I mean, there's the folks that are going to be sitting around not doing a whole lot, freaking out the whole time. And I say, well, and they tell you all the time on the internet, learn a new skill, do something different with all that. I picked up some neat skills when it comes to Nintendo consoles, let me tell you. So, I mean, I'm not picking up the guitar, although I've been told to, but I learned how to make sure you have extra games on the NES. It's about all.
I wish I could get back to some Madden. If it wasn't for trying to play a little guitar and the baby and stuff, I'd be playing Madden all day long. This is what I waited for probably like 10 years ago.
Well, you got the kid thing going. You see, my kids are, 9 and 15.
More self-sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing I have to do is just keep them the hell out of the studio. If I can keep them out of the studio, I can work.
Oh yeah.
They want to come in, and they want to come in, and they want to see all what goes on behind the background, behind the scenes, and I respect that. But you don't always have time for that. And I know my daughter is listening, and it's like I love her, but the baby, I don't know how you do it. I mean, there's a few of you musicians, like during this time, a couple actually right before it had kids. Some of y'all already had little ones.
Dustin's got a little one.
Yeah.
Josh has got a couple. Everybody's got kids out here too. So it's crazy time at home with them this much. So it's cool to get that kind of time with the family, because you don't usually get it when you're out playing 3, 4, 5 nights a week.
Try working from home full time, Jaty. The only time I actually left the house to work was the occasional service call. Otherwise, it was just to cover shows.
Yeah. At least you had shows to go to.
What's that?
At least you had shows to go to.
At least I was making money.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys aren't working, I'm sure as hell really not. I've been playing mostly full time. I would say like part time web developer, part time content creator, and at least before, when I was creating content, I was getting a check, like you.
Yeah.
And as soon as those bars and the restaurants, when they made the announcement to close, I was shaking. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do?
Yeah, no doubt. And that's kind of funny you say that, like us getting to chat and stuff like that. I was thinking, telling my wife today that like the money lost is one thing, but like the time to just like get to see people that you don't always see and hang out and BS a little bit and have fun with your band, like all that time's lost too. So that's what really sucks, is like, just all the good times we had out there as a community, and it's just kind of everybody's pulled back into the houses right now.
So other than we got the kid and we're learning some new music. What else? Like if you were to tell me like the top 5 things that you've been doing to make sure that you don't go insane during this time, what would you say they are? What would you tell everyone at home to do?
like just normal things. We go on walks, we go on drives, just get out of the house. In a safe way in your own car, go drive around town. It also puts the baby to sleep, so that's probably part of the reason we do it. But man, we got a pool out back, so thank God for that. So we just, at least on a weekend, we feel like, well, we can chill by the pool, right? That's not so terrible. But you can't have any friends over, so it really kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. Have you opened up your pool already? I know we have. For the dog, yeah. Hank, our black lab, he's in it all the time. He doesn't leave it alone. So I think we could get in it now. It's pretty sunny and pretty warm out consistently now. So have you ever noticed any issues with pH levels in the pool after letting your dog in? Because yeah, for sure. Yeah, it took us to play with that, and that's part of the game, and the hair through the filter and all that. Yeah, it's after the last time that happened last year. I'm not going to do it. Not again. It took me 2 months to get everything back to normal in the pool. Really? Started showing signs of black mold, and we're putting up a fence and it's going to keep him from going in there unless we'll let him in there, because he thinks it's his pool, basically. So he's up in it all the time. Well, fair enough. Maybe at some point he'll let you join once it's warm. Yeah, right. I mean, I've been in once. I mean, my kids have both been in it, Right. And we got a comment here from a Yasir. Says whenever he listens to country music, it makes him want to buy a farm and cry. You can buy a farm and drink beer, and that's right. Have a party and a bonfire. There's a lot of fun things you can do on the farm. Sure. Too. I got a ex-brother-in-law I'm still close to, and he was living on a huge ranch up in Canada, massive. And, a few nights a week, he'd have his own private bonfire, and he'd drink beer, whiskey, listen to country music. Do whatever you want out there. When you figure nobody can hear you out there, nobody can find you out there. Well, I think the closest person to him was probably 40 miles away to boot. I mean, it would take him, I think 3 or 4 hours to get to the other end of the ranch, which was getting close to, it basically it would run north, the ranch, towards like Silverknife and the Arctic, all that. Wow. I mean, if they had to go fix fences, it could be a long day, 3-4 hours out there, mend the fences, turn around, come back. Yeah, see, that's probably the farm work that guy didn't want to be a part of. That's why he said he was going to cry if he bought a farm. He didn't want farm work. Yeah. Well, get up before that sun comes up. Work. I mean, I got a buddy out in California. He's got a farm now. It's a produce farm. I think he may have a couple our animals, but he gets up probably 4 in the morning. Yeah, he doesn't finish till late at night. Now, I that was the last time I was out there. For all we know, he's because he's about my age. He's probably getting tired of that, and he's got more of his workers doing it. But I spent time out there, and trust me, I was exhausted. I mean, I wasn't even working on the farm per se. I was working on the house. I was doing some mending on the house back in the early 2000s. By the time I got out there, they were already coming back for a break. I was like, geez, that's farm life, huh? Not for me. Not for you. Not that kind of country music living. So let's see here. So how many wrong with you, Eddie, man? I mean, what have you been doing since this is all shut down? Just kind of your social distancing interviews and things like that? Yeah, I mean, we started doing. We were planning on starting this show, back in September, and what ended up happening was, we started the planning, I'd say around July, August last year. We didn't actually pick up the equipment for it until just before all this happened. And then once we went into lockdown, I decided, well, it's time to set up the studio. So we were going to be doing podcasting, and we're going to have a separate channel for it. And at this point, I mean, although we're going to have some content coming out that is offline uploads, this seems like the best way to reach, because I was already doing interviews, and then the music blogs where I would go up with the bands and everything. We were doing that, but I can't do it anyway. So I might as well replace those videos with this. Yeah, that's true. And the response has been good. So we'll probably keep it going, into the far future. And it also gets a chance that we can actually shout out our sponsors a lot more too and whatnot. For sure. Well, I think everybody's figuring that out. Like they're having to do things differently right now. And they're saying like, man, you know, we can take this a little bit into when things come back around, how we can use these Facebook lives and stuff like that people have been doing. Even while people are still getting out to the bars and playing, it's just kind of cool. Like, people kind of reinventing things a little bit and figuring out how to do it.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing too. It's like when this all initially started, I was literally staying up almost all night at that point, trying to come up with new ideas and new content. See, a lot of people, you know, have seen me over the years do the video feeds and the live music feeds and everything. That's been done, and we'll still keep doing that. But you know, we're still sitting here coming up with new and original content. If people want to just do what I was doing years ago, fine, knock themselves out. You know, but yeah, my wife will tell you I wasn't going to bed sometimes till 7 or 8 in the morning, take a nap and get back at it.
Right.
You know, to me, this is what I do, and this is what I will always do. So I have to keep, you know, producing. And if I'm not, you know, and my whole, you know, idea is to always been to support local live country music. And if I'm not creating content, I'm not doing my job.
No, we appreciate the platform. It's cool. And people don't realize, like you and I have talked about before, the scene that there is here in Phoenix, that people don't realize like what they have as a music scene. Because I've been other places. I played in other places in this in the country, and it's not the same way everywhere, where you got talented musicians and different kind of vibes and genres and things like that all the way across the board. So it's a cool town to be in.
Well, I mean, in truth be told, I would have to say that, I mean, the entire state has a way better scene than a lot of people actually know, unless they've come through. Just last week we had on County Line from Tucson, and they just dropped a new album, and it's actually really good. And it's a nice, refreshing change from someone trying to drop something that's been done, or that's been overly auto-tuned, or that just doesn't convey a story, you know, and doesn't have a message. So, I mean, Tucson's got some awesome talent. There's a band, out in Yuma that has a massive following, and I used to check, well, they're the only band out there, and I heard them, and they're actually pretty good. And so, I mean, Arizona is, you know, we're really blessed. We really are. I mean, Nashville is great. You got some good acts in Cali and everything like that. But, you know, I think we have, like, you know, like you were saying, I mean, we're blessed with a good scene and a good handful of musicians. And there's also like a really good camaraderie here. We were talking about that last week between the musicians and just overall in Arizona. Everyone seems to, for the most part, this is not a competition. And when it comes to music, if we succeed as a whole for the scene, we're just way better off. So,
well, I mean, you know, I'm fairly new to Phoenix, you know, within the last 4.5 years or so. So a lot of these guys are born and raised out here, have been out in the scene for a long time. So I was worried coming out when I first moved this way, how that was going to all work out. And the more I met people, the more I found guys like yourself and other musicians that were really just kind of like, they bring you in, they want you to be a part of it, they find you guys to play with, stuff like that. So especially being somebody from definitely the outside coming in, I saw how the camaraderie was, just like you said. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, you got a lot of guys that have been around for a long time, and you know, I've seen, you know, the newer folk as they're getting into the scene. I mean, you've been in it for a couple of years now. You got some guys that have been around 20 years, right? And these guys are so welcoming to the new people on the block.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I mean, you got fellas like, you know, Clint Williams, Marble Heart. He's always out there to help. Yeah, he's great. Josh, yeah. So, I mean, for sure. Speaking of which, I see we got Logan on the line. We should go ahead and bring him in now. How many of y'all are we expecting today?
I mean, I think all three of the other guys, the Black Stallions, I guess you could say that. I think they were all going to pop in at some point just to say what's up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and they can all come in
whenever you want, if you want to let them in.
No, that's good. Well, let's go ahead and bring in Logan.
All right.
Hey, Logan, how you doing?
I miss you. Logan.
Oh, we can't hear him. Logan, are you on your phone with an external mic? Yeah, we can't hear you, Bubba.
Get your phone working before you get on here. You have to test it.
Yeah, I know that there's an issue me the other day with using an external mic on a phone. I've never tried it. However, I do know that just like any other app, you have to remember to grant it permission to the
Yeah, for sure. No, that's fine. Anyways, moving on. He'll be back later, probably.
He'll be back. So I got a Diane here just posted a comment that she loves JD the Black Stallions.
That's my Aunt Diane.
Oh, hey, Aunt Diane. How
I grew up in Irving. Hi, Diane. Love you.
Thanks for coming. And for those of you that are new here, be sure, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, be sure to smash that like button for us. And if you subscribe to us on YouTube and hit that like button, drop a comment, that helps us more than you'll ever know. And it shows us that you love, or you got some love for us. And we definitely like that. Okay, we're going to try bringing in Logan here.
You guys hear me?
Oh,
yeah.
You and the road noise. How you doing?
Sorry, I'm driving, man.
No,
I've been working like crazy.
Hey, that's good. You have you still have a day job, yeah?
Yeah, I actually deliver all the food to all these restaurants doing carry out right now. I drive semis for a local food carrier.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I service all of Tucson and the East Valley right now, and it's just
keeping the country going.
It's been pretty crazy since all this happened. It was like, the first couple weeks, man, all the restaurants dropped out, and we didn't know if we were going to work anymore. And then they all kind of figured out the takeout game, and now it's just kind of back to normal. They're all ordering the same amounts. We're just as busy again. I mean, people are pretty much just sitting at home eating pizza right now, so that's pretty much all we deliver is pizza sauce and flour and pizza boxes and produce. So people are just literally sitting at home stuffing their faces with pizza, freaking out about everything.
That's actually true. My wife has ordered pizza twice this week. I had to tell her.
See, man, it's just crazy.
And it's more expensive now. I mean, a large pie and an order of wings the other day cost us $58.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
can't sustain that with no work coming in.
Was that going to be our tax return going into pizza delivery? Good God. I was like, I literally was beside myself. And they've increased the recommended amount. So they initially wanted a $10 tip. And I'm like, bro, like I was a pizza guy when I was a kid, inflation. I'll give you $3, $4. And we gave him $5. I was like, that is insane. Almost $60 for one large, one topping, guys, and one order of wings.
Dude.
Fancy place.
The pizza is amazing, though. I will say that.
Cool thing about this job, though, is every place you deliver, they want to give you a piece of pizza. So I'm so sick of pizza. I mean, I still eat it just because it's free pizza, but man, it's been a pizza heaven kind of thing.
So so you're delivering. So if you're delivering, you're just delivering food. There's no paper product, because if there's any paper product,
there's paper product. Yeah, there's paper product too. I do a ton of toilet paper, man.
Dude,
the first week this all happened.
We can't find any. People are like, yeah, if you shoot early in the morning, it's there. It's not there, dude.
Yeah, every morning it gets wiped out again.
My wife literally has been to Costco, Fry's, and Safeway as they open. Or I wouldn't say as they open, but at Fry's and Safeway, I think she showed up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, even at Target once. Nothing. Went to Costco, nothing. And then someone posted online that Costco has increased the cost of toilet paper by like $25. Like, what in the hell?
I was kind of worried about
hey, May 1st,
worried about people breaking into my truck and stealing some shit,
For real.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Logan, May 1st, we're coming back. I think they say May 1st we're starting to reopen.
Oh, are they really saying it now? Because I've been hearing it's going to be
So I guess the government kind of said they're going to give the states the option to do it and start making their own way to reopen. And I think Ducey hasn't locked us down. So I think they'll start to reopen it a little bit. May 1st, it's going to be hot out here already. People are itching.
Yeah, I don't know if we're really ready for that. I mean, the numbers are still climbing. They're slowly, but
well, you can give us some half capacity crowds to play to, and we'll be more than happy to go out and play to them.
I'm down with that.
Quarter capacity. Let's start small. We'll help them. We'll bring them along.
Hey, so when this is all So when this is all over, do you guys think that like when they open the state back up, do you think that like shows are going to be like kind of weird at first? Do you think people are going to be not dancing as much and maybe like not ordering drinks as much, and everyone's going to be spaced out?
In masks at the bar, dancing in masks.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you should say that because I'm actually filming a video on this topic right now. And I'm going to, in my opinion, I think it's going to be in some places very weird. In some places it may be required. So, and I think some people will probably just go bananas and start doing, pardon my French, some really stupid shit.
I think Old Town Scottsdale is going to go ham. They can't help themselves. Old Town Scottsdale is going to come back.
Yeah. Especially like the younger kids. Like,
right.
Think about all the college kids that missed out on spring break. All the kids that graduated, you know what I mean? They didn't get to go out and party. All the kids that turned 21 during
all the bands that missed all these shows, like we want to go party.
That too. And like I always think, about this and how like for granted I took playing these shows, getting to play a show like just getting a chance to play at Whiskey Row Gilbert is a pretty amazing feat in itself, you know what I mean? And we got used to it, and now that we don't have it, it's just so crazy to think that we took that place for granted, man.
You just hope it comes back. You just hope it all comes back, because it's crazy to have it taken away like that. It's not.
Well, and that's the big thing too. I mean, the big challenge lies in reopening. So not every place, like I think Whiskey Row may be doing delivery. I haven't looked, but
I actually ran into the owner or the manager, Mike. I guess their establishment owns a little restaurant in Old Town. I forget what it's called, like Fresh something. But I was delivering there, and he said that they just reopened for carry out. I think when I was there, he said tomorrow, so that would have been Monday.
Well, that's good.
So they're doing like a curbside bar, kind of like the place across the street's doing. So just to kind of keep themselves relevant, I guess, and not freak anybody out. Because I mean, if that place closes down, that's pretty much downtown Gilbert's like center, place. That would be terrible, man.
So many of the
what would they put in that big ass building?
So many of the country places like Tom Ryan's, Handlebar J, like these places all around town are like, staples in their own like areas as country places. Like for those that shut down would be crazy, and the amount of like.
Well, and some of these places like Tom Ryan's is completely shut. So that brings the issue of, well, when they reopen, okay, then keep this in mind. When they reopen, first of all, we have to make sure we have a staff. Now, some people may have gotten unemployment, or they're still waiting for unemployment, or eventually they might get tired of that and they're going to turn around and look for another means of employment. So they may not even come back. So let's just say if the bar is fully shut now, and then when it comes time to reopen, right? Will they, one, have the staff, or two, would they have survived this time? So, some may not be able to reopen just monetarily wise, because they're not like I said, Tom Ryan's doesn't really do food. So they're not even doing takeout cocktails to the best of my knowledge. And that's the last time I talked to, I try to keep in contact with the bartenders as much as possible to see what's going on right now. And they're gone. And I'm pretty sure like Jersey D's is not, and these are places I deal with a lot too, because I book a lot of shows there. And from what I understand, like, Jersey D's, who can do food takeout, Thomas, why don't you serve food? Do the takeout, man. Your wings rock.
Yeah, man.
What the hell, man. Like the other day, I didn't realize till he said something that he wasn't, because I said to my wife, order 2 or 3 wings from Jersey D's and we'll go out pick them up. And then we found out he was on, and then I looked online, and he was even saying how he was shut. I'm like, dude, how are you going to get through?
I also feel like right now that, these places like Tom Ryan's and like the smaller clubs, I feel like those places, like JD, you said, they are staples in the community of country music. So 100%. I even think if they shut the doors because they financially can't take care of it, I think another investor will eventually step in and buy these properties, because they have a following. They have people that know that's where you go to dance. Tom Ryan's is a dance bar. Handlebar J's, I think, will be fine, but they're also a dance bar. And I feel like if these current owners right now can't find a way to reinvent themselves and do the carry out, like you were saying, I think they will get bought up eventually once this all goes back to normal, because it's an opportunity for people to get their hands on something that they probably couldn't have had before. Like, I know liquor license is extremely hard to get in Arizona. You can't even get a new one. You have to buy an existing one, and they don't even give out.
Everybody's going to play an angle. Everybody's going to play the angle at this point on this whole deal. So.
Dude, it's like chips, boys. Crazy,
it's completely different. Yeah, I mean, Arizona in general, when it comes to liquor, is so strict. Dude,
I used to drive for Budweiser, man. There is so many little small things that, like say, for example, if an over-the-road truck comes in to Arizona with a bunch of alcohol and they crash, well, the insurance kicks in and covers that. Or if a pallet dumps and breaks a bunch of shit, they can't sell that to the Budweiser company anymore because the insurance company already bought it. So the law is that in the state of Arizona, you can't buy alcohol and resell it, like on the commercial side of things. So they would just give it away to all the employees. It's just very strict rules here with alcohol, and I think people will step up and buy these bars out and keep it going. It's going to be sad because we've made friends with these people, and like we know all the like we know bartenders by names and servers by names. Right. I think I think no matter how this like gets played out, there's going to be a whole change of hands of properties and bars, and even in the music world, promotion companies are going to change. Bands are going to be going to different labels. You know what I mean? Like the way people travel is going to be different. The way people go to shows, it's going to affect every industry. And I think music's going to take it it's going to be weird for music, man. It's because there's going to be rules to it now. It's just going to be weird.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I was telling you. I mean, the way that we're going to reopen is what's really going to be the weirdest part, because you're going to have, like you were saying, new rules. Think about it. When we came out of 9/11, we had all these new regulations and everything like that.
Yep.
Okay. So now think about, there will be new laws in place at some point. If not now, at some point there will be. And the scary thing is it's going to affect how we socialize, for sure.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not, but I will say this, it's when it comes to being clean and being cautious. I think Logan, is he okay? I think he dropped his phone. There he is.
Yeah, I'm good.
But like the things that they tell us to do now, and it's like, okay, wash your hands, soap and water, 20 seconds, use hand sanitizer. All these things in my house, we were already doing that stuff, and that's how we raised our kids. My 9-year-old son knows all of that. So when we came into it, I just reminded him one time. I said, "You saw that on TV? Make sure you don't forget that." We should have been doing a lot of this, from the get-go. And when everything went into a panic, it's like, did you not own any soap in your house? Have you never bought bleach in your life? You're telling me this is the first time you bought hand sanitizer. And don't get me wrong, toilet paper is awesome, but the virus doesn't give you, the need to go to the bathroom. I mean, do you really need 3? So it's like,
it's going to be different at the bar now, because we're in a bar situation. People are drinking. It's late at night. People are touching all the time, shaking hands, giving hugs, high-fiving you and stuff. So you don't even think twice about it. Now you're going to put a little bit of Purell in your back pocket. Put yourself a little Purell after you high-five everybody and say what's up in between sets and stuff. So it's just weird to think about, like, going to the bars being so different. What's up, Clint?
Clint Williams, Buck Hoss in the house. Did you guys see his Buck Hoss video?
Yeah.
Dude, that like broke the internet that day. That was awesome. And my favorite part was when he had the sponsors come on. That was, I mean, he had everything from the lube for your car, the whole 9 yards. We're trying to get Buck Hoss to come out to the studio here to do an interview. Clint did one, and of course that was an interesting day. We had a plethora of weird stuff happen. Like, we had power issues with this camera. We had lighting issues, all of since which have been resolved. But it was just like, it was like something just went through and just decided to break everything every few minutes in the first half of the broadcast. Even the mixer was down. We didn't even know the mixer was down for 30 minutes. All of our audio was coming straight off the computer. Yeah, oh yeah. But anyhow, yeah. So it's Clint's a trip.
Hey guys, I'm getting a bad buzz. I'm gonna jump off real quick. I'll jump back on.
Later, Logan.
10-4. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying though, I mean, a lot of this stuff we should have been doing. A lot of these things I mean, just purely good hygiene, staying home. I mean, you get the flu, you stay home, right? Hell, if you got a cold, you stay home. You know, I mean, this is all common sense stuff, and it's almost like we had to retrain everybody on it.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, that's always been my feeling. So when it comes to reopening everything after this, I mean, I think that there are going to be some weird rules into effect, and I think some people are going to be just over and all strange, and then there's going to be the people that don't care, and they're going to be out there dancing. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And unless it's regulated, I think you're going to have some people that still won't leave their home. They're terrified. Then you're going to have other people that are going to go out, be cautious, which they should have always been slightly cautious. Then you're going to have the people that just full on jump in, feet first, and they're going to end up probably sick, in my opinion. But
that's America, though. Free choice.
That's right. Welcome
to America. You can choose to stay home. Like I said, we'll work them in little by little if we have to. Whatever they can do to just let us get out there and play. We'll go out doing little trios on patios if we need to. It'd just be fun to get out and do it again.
That's one thing we've been focusing on during this time too is, Jaty's, in my opinion, Jaty's got a lot of good songs, and we've just been so busy playing that, like we do our work, as a band should off the stage, but when you're older, you got families involved, it's harder to make time for this kind of stuff outside of playing shows, because that's our job. But Jaty put out a couple songs on Spotify, and I was thinking this would be the best time to do it right now when everyone's home and like has to listen to it. There's no show to go to. There's no distraction.
We're like, we should put these songs out. We should do this, but we're always playing, and all of a sudden we were sitting down for a little while, and it's like, oh, hey, we could release these songs. We could put some of this out. Kind of like we were talking about before, Eddie, people reinventing themselves and doing the Facebook Live stuff and stuff, just figuring out different ways to do it. So that's cool. We can't get on stage, but we'll find a way to get some music out there,
Oh, I'm still working on getting that venue situated. I'll tell you off air what's going on in it. It's not the venue per se, but I'll let you know. But we should have it secured. Otherwise, here's what's going to happen, and Jaty, you're going to be the first to hear it. Otherwise, what's going to happen is we are going to clear the furniture out of my great room, and we're just going to bring the band here. Already cleared it with the wife. Band comes in, sets up the equipment. Well, we've had bands in here before, so that's not an issue.
Logan's been looking for parties, house parties this whole time.
Well, see, that's what I actually did tell them that are musicians, and they said the only downfall of that is there's going to be a lot of beer cans there, and I frankly don't care. So.
That maybe the cops show up.
Nah, we've had we've had a couple of private acoustic sessions in the house, but we've had, I think, twice. I think we've had live music in the backyard by the pool, and what I always do is I eat back then. What's that?
If you have us play, I'm just gonna go out and say it. I think we're the loudest country band in Arizona.
No, just don't break my.
You could argue best, but I'm gonna go ahead and say loudest for sure.
Well, loud is not always good, man. Gotta remember that.
Logan can definitely claim loudest for sure.
Yeah, we can definitely claim loudest for sure.
Clint was listening in on this subject.
Yeah. Clint, don't put it in the universe. That's what
I'm excited to get back to it, though, man.
Oh, I mean, aren't we all? But if you guys are down, I think that's what we might do. Start doing the virtual shows here, and we're going to be rocking like 3 to 4 cameras. We have the equipment. What's funny is that we were going to break out the 3 to 4 camera angles and the new sound system that I have, and then everything went to hell in a hay basket. Because I don't know if you guys have been following us for a few years. Every few months, you'll see that we kind of level up on equipment. So.
Right.
Yeah. So short of going into like high dollar, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 stuff, we're pretty much as, the best you're going to get at this point in terms of, shooting live and everything like that. I mean, if I want to rock my own studio, like if I had a full size studio, like what is it, BX3 or BX3 does in North Phoenix, that's my dream. Oh, we lost Logan again. But and don't get me wrong, Mike. If before this all started, I was actually starting to shop for a suite in Tempe, and we were actually going to move it out there. Or at least build a stage or a set where we could have host the talk show. We could host live shoots or just do our demos, because I'm sure you guys know we do demos and photography. So we were going to have the option to do it in the studio as well. And then all this happened, and I'm like, I'm not going to pay rent on that, Oh, here's Guy. Clint's laughing.
No, he was just saying that.
Hey, boys, what it is?
What's going on, man?
Back around that bars aren't going to be paying bands what they used to.
Hey, Logie Bear, how's it going?
Logan's connection's whack.
Just parked on the side of the freeway talking to you guys.
Not surprised to hear that. I just got done teaching guitar lessons. I was teaching some children some Stevie Ray Vaughan lessons, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Giving lessons?
Online?
Yeah, I just been FaceTiming, actually. It's working out all right. I have like a few little kid funny ass students. It's been kind of funny to deal with because I can't be like, no, don't do that. It's like, all right, just take your time saying rambly fun little kid stuff. It's fine. I'll be here when you're done. I'll show you what the note is.
Very good. Were you doing this at your home?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in my living room right now.
Oh, okay.
I have a little setup here. Got my little amp set up and stuff like that.
For anybody that doesn't know, Logan's a drummer of the Black Stallions. Gabe is our bass player of the Black Stallions, the Black Stallions. So thanks for saying what's up, y'all.
Jaty, not JT, Jaty.
Yeah, my daughter was walking around the house today going, "Is it JT or JD?" I'm like, "Yo."
It's like Katie.
To explain it to people, you just say it's like Katie, but with a J.
Katie with the J.
Then they get it instantly.
I was going to bring her on the air.
Jaty, like Katie, but Jaty.
Yeah. If you say it with
the worst way to explain that, but it works.
It helps it sound right.
You got Rachel in the chat room. Can't wait to till you guys play.
No doubt.
Rachel, I mean, that's like an amen. I think we all want to see all the boys, all the bands, everybody go back.
It'll be cool, man. I saw Clint's comment there about worrying about pay and stuff like that. Logan too. I mean, we'll see what happens. I think we'll be happy to get out there and play to an extent, but
I mean, what he's saying, I mean, there's definitely a strong possibility because there's so much revenue lost right now.
For sure.
I mean, you're running a 50-50 chance. So let's just say, some of the venues that we were talking about that are completely shut, that they don't serve food. They are not doing takeout cocktails, for example. So they're going to come out. They've got months and months and months of lost revenue, what have you. They may not even be able to afford to have music right off the cusp. So their option may actually be, hey, we're going to offer you this, or we're just going to have to wait. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't want to put it out there.
That's not a success.
But I think we can keep losing both of those guys.
That's fine. They may pop in and out. Don't worry about them, I guess. But yeah, we'll just kind of see what we can do. But you're talking about people like kind of whether they're going to come right back out to the bars or not. We kind of need them to come out to the bars so the bars can make money and afford, have us out to play and the venues around town in general, all over the country. I mean, so the Country Thunder got moved to October. I don't know how that hurt people or hurt promoters or money lost, even though they moved it. People are still, time is money. Time went by, people lost money, no doubt. So it's going to be interesting to see how that changes all that.
See, well, then that's the thing too, because they rescheduled Country Thunder for Halloween. So I'm actually curious to see. I heard people were actually when they made the announcement, people were actually starting to, even with the new date, they were planning on selling their tickets.
Yeah.
Just because of the timing. It's,
Yeah.
it's October, November, it's going into the holidays. It is a holiday weekend. What are you going to do? Ditch your kids?
Leave your kids at home. They can trick or treat with older neighbor kid. Come to Country Thunder and hang out.
Maybe. I mean, I know on my end, I could pretty much kiss my press pass goodbye.
Well, no, and that's interesting too, to see like what they're going to be able to give to the bands and to people. And, like you said, like, we're going to play it and we're going to be out there playing at Country Thunder, but that is Halloween. And so that's missing, taking the kid, going on Halloween and stuff like that, which wouldn't have been a normal thing. So
right.
We'll change things for the whole next year for sure.
I think here's what I think is going to happen. Come September, we're going to start taking a betting poll, and we're actually going to see who's actually going to show up and who's going to be scalping them tickets. I'm just saying, I'm just going to call it how it is. I mean, it's, I don't know.
I saw somebody say in a Country Thunder forum, they said if Country Thunder got reinstated for this weekend, who all would still go? I would. So there's a bunch of people. There's crazy people out there. And I guess that's like what we rely on, I guess, as the band. We need people that want to go out and party because that's what we are there to do with them, kind of thing. So
no, I agree. And I think here, and the other thing too is like with me, I'm pretty sure I'm trying to be the fellow who's kind of like it could go this way or that way, but
right.
Chances are we're going to get closer to it. My wife will be like, just take your pass and go. And I'll be like, I'm good.
Well, hopefully this is dying down by October for sure. And we're feeling a lot better by then. I mean, I hope here in the next couple of weeks, especially Arizona starts to feel better about it. And we can at least, we just want to get out of the house and go sit on a patio somewhere and have a drink and, brunch or something, so
right.
Even on a personal level, we just want to be able to go do something. So.
Well, I could tell you, like, even lately, it's, I don't know about you, but we're getting a little twitchy over here. It's like, I haven't, I've snuck out once or twice, like recently I had to go to church, but it was like, just, social distancing, pick up some stuff and then get the heck out of Dodge for Easter. But before that, I couldn't tell you the last time that I was out of the house, and I was literally starting to lose my mind, and my wife and I are kind of bickering over stupid stuff, and it's just it's stupid. But so I can't remember. I'd have to go look at the receipts from when I was up in Prescott with Southbound. That's basically how long I've been locked up, and I want to say that was beginning of February. Wow. So I literally hadn't drove in 2 months. I got my truck the other day. I'm not even, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. It's like, it was weird.
Yeah, it's weird times. That's why I'm saying if they do another couple month-long shutdown, man, people are going to go crazy. We got to get out there and be normal.
A lot of states I thought still did another extension through May. That's why I want to check.
No, they did, but I think they're giving them the right to open up if they want to. Arizona, Texas, some places like that, I think are they want to open. I think
really
Michigan's marching on people, so Michigan's marching on the state house because they want to reopen. So that's the flip side.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to hope for the best, but it's going to be interesting.
We'll be all right. We'll all figure it out just like we did during this time too,
Well, now now we got Rob over here. I just noticed he's been in here. Hey, Rob.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are y'all?
Good to see you. For anybody who's not familiar, again, with each one of the band members, Rob is the lead guitar.
What's up, Rob?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
I miss your musk.
I know.
Wow.
Dude, we played a Facebook Live like 2 weeks ago or something, and we hadn't seen each other in like 2 weeks before that. And so now it's been like another 2 weeks. And usually it's like 4 nights in a week we see each other. So it's so like when we get back together, it's like riding a bike, but it's like crazy to think. Like when we all look at our instruments, like, do we ready? Okay. Yeah, it's working.
I
Yeah.
also feel like there's like almost like a bromance between all of you guys, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, we have a lot
I'm
of
feeling that vibe, you
we don't
know.
have time to hang out usually. That's like, I mean, like those are probably our closest friends is each other and our bandmates. You know, we see each other all the time, and so it's
Right.
really weird for it to be not like a gradual thing, not like a seasonal. Like it's summertime, it's really hot out here. A lot of places aren't doing the same music or whatever. Like just gone, and you don't get to hang out with each other anymore. It's just so crazy, you know. Like Logan said, you take it for granted because you're like night 4, you're like, man, I'm tired now. But now you're like, give me 4 nights, give me 10 straight nights. I don't care.
Yeah, definitely missing it. That's for sure.
What
Looking
have you
forward to
been
getting back out there.
doing? I'm sorry, go ahead. There was a little
Oh, no,
lag.
that was all.
Oh, okay. There was a little lag, and then I accidentally started talking over you. It was totally my bad. Yeah. So, what have you been up to this whole time? Do you have a day job that you've been doing, or?
Yeah, so I do. Yeah, I work as a recruiter during the day. I've been
Uh-huh.
remote this whole time. You know, so I'm I took a break from my end of day job duties, you know, hop on here. So, but yeah, you know, trying to do little things on the side too. I plan on doing another Facebook Live thing this coming, you know, weekend. So
Right on.
just and
Show them we
trying
still
to stick
play.
with people.
Show 'em we still do something, you know.
So, trying to increase my followers on Instagram.
Instagram is another evil in itself. I'm just gonna say that it's weird. I mean, my followers are going up. The one thing I can tell you from what I've learned is the key to Instagram is follow. The more you follow, the more it'll follow you back, and then you can get your message across. And make sure that your thumbnails for whatever you're posting, or for your actual well, it's not much of a profile image, but at least the profile image, make sure it's sharp. You know,
Right.
all those little things, I would say, and just make sure that whatever you're posting is relevant. And they're actually going to say, look at it.
Yeah.
You know, there's, you know, and I think there's a way you can look at your analytics. I forget. I have everything tied into Facebook with Facebook Pixel and everything like that. You know, big shout out to my buddy Justin for showing me that, although he needs to come over again because I think I screwed it up. You know,
Easy to do. That's easy to do.
holy Christmas. It is so complicated. I'm like I went and I did all this business verification stuff, all this stuff the other day. And for whatever reason, my main account doesn't have full admin access to my groups anymore. Even though it says that it does, if I try to do any posts, I actually had to go and switch back to myself and then approve it in Facebook. And I'm like, well, this can't be right. So, and it's like, oh, great, extra work. That's exactly what I want. It was just feeling that all day. That's great. So now, moving forward, let's, hoping that we actually do get out of this soon. Do you guys have any, anything still in the books for the fall? Any plans? Are we doing any touring, or is everything still in the valley? What's going on?
We got all of May booked up, so May is ready to go if they want to open up.
Okay.
We got stuff booked in June. We had a wedding in March. Yeah, in March. They got moved to June or July now. So especially wedding stuff, our private stuff like that, any kind of like corporate things that we had, they just kind of shifted it to later in the year. So that kind of worked out. But yeah, we have some stuff still with like Bourbon Jacks and what that through the rest of the year. We'll be with Joe Gilbert's. I mean, we just got to see which bars, I guess, are going to continue to keep, like Clint said, being able to keep bands in there and whatnot. And we're going to have to adjust our schedule a little bit based on that. But yeah, I mean, we got dates booked, ready to go. So as long as they open the state, we can go play.
And that's awesome. I mean, I know, like with, I do the booking and everything for Highway 260, and we had most of the year completely booked, and it's starting to look like, at least for us, that I'd say a lot of them are actually going to get shifted possibly towards 2021, unfortunately.
Yeah.
To go. Because, I mean, I don't know how many shows offhand that everyone had. I mean, the listings we do on our website is primarily now handled by Mrs. Smith, because I'm too busy doing this stuff. But she'd be able to tell you more offhand, like who had what. But I can tell you just from think about the average band had 10 to let's just say 10 to 15 shows on average.
Right.
Yeah, they got to be pushed somewhere. It's gonna be really hard to shift them later in the year if the venues were already booked. So that's why some of the stuff we're looking at is going to be going into 2021. And that's not horrible, but we would still prefer to get back to work and
get some more stimulus checks coming out, I guess.
Yeah, well, we already got ours.
Good.
Most people got them actually. I think at this point.
That's good, man.
But I mean, that's it's like I was saying, man. The bars need to open, the restaurants need to open, the venues need to get open. We need to get you guys back on the stage, and then I can get back to work too. We're gonna make it about me. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, honestly, until you guys go back to work, I'm stuck here in the studio. So.
No, I mean, and I think a lot of us like kind of feel more like together on it now. Like even with the bars and the bartenders and the bars, like I think we're all gonna like come back in together, like. We all like bring it to get like if one of us isn't working, that means none of us are working. So like we all got to be in it together to make these venues work. We're the entertainment. There's servers and bartenders, and we're all gonna be happy to see each other when it's time. So it'll be cool.
Well, that's the best way to say it. We are really truly all in this together, and the sooner we comply, and they feel it's safe, then they can open us up, and we can get back to work, and we can move along our merry way.
They push Country Thunder, so like we were talking about. So we were supposed to be there this weekend, playing a couple of the side stages and some acoustic gigs, but so they pushed it to October. So hopefully, everything's good to go there. We get to go play it still. It's just kind of different timing and kind of different scenario. We'll see how it works, but like you said, it's not terrible things are getting pushed off, but it's just going to be different,
Well, I mean, in hindsight being 2020, let's just say that we're in better shape by the October-November realm. So that was actually not a bad idea on their part because they pushed it out far enough to where you have it's more likely that we're going to open up later than sooner. But that's a safe enough gap to guess that by October or November the country will be open and safe again.
Well, and like comfortable, like you said, people will finally be comfortable maybe to get back out there.
Right, exactly. So I mean, I say we hope for the best. If you're religious, pray. I don't know.
Hey, even if you're not, you can pray. That's cool.
That's right. Good thoughts. But I'd say, I mean, we have a safer chance with that one. I know I have tickets for some shows, and sadly, one of them was for Josh Turner, and that has already been rescheduled twice. So I highly doubt that I'm actually going to be able to use that specific one. I got a feeling they're going to end up just canceling it at this point, and I don't, that's going to just suck. But I don't know if you heard, it was first canceled way before this because they had an accident with the bus.
Oh, right, that's right.
Yeah. So so then they had rescheduled it, and it was rescheduled for it was just a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, and they gave up on it, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that. Due to the coronavirus. And I'm like, okay. And my wife lets me know, she says, here's the email. And I said, I don't see him rescheduled again because he only had a handful of shows he had to reschedule, and to reschedule him twice, I don't know. And I know that Josh Turner is not the only one out there that's done that. So that's also the next question. How many of these tours where they had rescheduled dates or even dates during this small window, how many of them are actually going to get rescheduled or just pushed completely until the next tour?
And you just have to do a new tour, and you have to like work out new dates, kind of thing.
Exactly.
You're going to push them on top of next seasons, festivals, and things like that are coming back around. So,
like I said earlier, it's going to be really interesting to see how this is all going to play out. And like I said, I still personally feel that when everything reopens, I think we're going to see how people, like to a certain extent, I think people are going to interact differently, at least in the venues, at least in the smaller ones, for sure. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if in the end we have just some regulation in place even too. They may actually say, okay, they may look at what capacity each bar had before and may even slice it in half and say everyone's got to stay apart. You don't know.
That'd be crazy, man.
Wouldn't that be wild? I mean, picture what I think Tom Ryan's has 160 or something like that. Imagine that sliced in half and everyone's got to, unless they're,
Well, then, and if they did that to those bars, think about the venues all around town that have acts come through, like you said, like a Josh Turner or something. Think of how tightly packed people are in those concerts and those small venues and the Van Buren and places like that. And to thin those out would really change the vibe of those kind of nights,
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be, well, and that's the thing too, because you figure when you went to these venues and you went to the bar and you went to see a live show, there's a certain level of intimacy, and that's just part of it, right?
Right.
But imagine if that actually was taken from us. Like, how would people handle that? How would people take that? Would they even want to go anymore, or are we going to be looking at an era where people are just like, screw it, I'll watch from home? I don't know.
Right.
I personally, I don't know if, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to go back 100% to normal.
Not right away, but we'll see. I guess people are fearful a little bit of each other, but I think we'll work it out.
Yeah,
but until then, we're just getting ready to play. When it comes time, we're gonna be ready to jump off the stage and go nuts, because we're just itching to get back up there. So.
Well, keep practicing and keep learning them new songs. Might as well work on that playlist.
Check out, if y'all are getting on Spotify at all, we got a couple songs out now, Country on the Radio and Where This Night Leads on Spotify. So a couple original songs out there now. Feel free to check those out. That's what we're trying to do, as well as get some new music out. We're in the studio doing a new one right now, and we got a few more ready to release. So just trying to, kind of like you're doing the content, is just trying to put some different content out now, switch it up. Now's a good time to put your own music out and kind of get that ball rolling and see where we can go from there too. So it'll be fun.
Do you have a website? You want to go ahead and plug your Facebook page or anything?
JatyEdwards.com, Jaty Edwards Facebook, Jaty Edwards Instagram, all that. Spotify, iTunes, all those. Jaty Edwards on there. You can find us. Jaty and the Black Stallions, we're out playing all the time. Rob, thanks for jumping on, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Rob.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, hopefully it's not another what I think. When was the last time I saw you guys? Has it been 4 months now? 3 months?
Or 5 months. I think we're at Tom Ryan's. We saw you at Tom Ryan's. We talked and we were like, oh man, the scene is about to be. And you and I were like, the scene, and you got this going and that going. We're talking to all these people, and then
believe it or not, though, our following has actually increased all the way around this whole time. So
people are finding a new way to view it. Everybody still wants to see it. They still want to follow what's going on. So they're finding a new way to do it. That's all.
Yep. No, nothing wrong with that. Well, guys, it was great to see you. Again, hopefully,
likewise, brother.
Yeah. Stay healthy, stay alive, take care of your families, practice social distancing, and hopefully we'll see you sooner rather than later.
Yeah, thanks for everything you do, Eddie. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you as well.
All right, bro.
Sure. See y'all.
So long, guys.
Later, y'all.
Hey, Clint, thanks for saying that. Appreciate it. Hey, folks, so that was a lot of fun. That was Jaty and the Black Stallions. They were voted one of the top 5 best country bands in Arizona for 2019. So that was pretty cool to actually have them on. Like everybody else, they're with their families right now during this time. They have day jobs. I mean, they're just like you and me, and they're still just trying to get through it like we are. So, stay home, do what they're saying. Just, practice that social distancing, wash your hands, and then hopefully sooner rather than later, we are going to be back out there. They're going to be playing, and we'll be back there shooting those live film or video feeds from the actual bars, and that'll just be great. Heck, I'd like to go back to my regular work. So, if this is your first time here, on YouTube, definitely hit that like button on either platform, Facebook or YouTube, but hit that subscribe bell or button, and then the notification bell right next to it. That way, every time we do another show or an uploaded video, you're going to get a notification of it. And a lot of these videos, they're a lot of fun. So we do the talk show. We also do these music vlogs where generally we travel with the bands. Now, because we can't travel with them, there's a few different things that we're doing, but definitely, give us a shot. We're a lot of fun. This is a husband and wife team. The wife is not on the talk show, but you do get to see her periodically. And we'll actually be back in a few days. We have a couple of guests coming up next week. One of which we'll go ahead and announce is Josh Roy. That's going to be a lot of fun. If you're just now joining, go ahead and catch our last video with County Line. They just dropped a new album. They're out of Tucson, Arizona. Really talented group of folks. Great fiddle player. She's definitely worth checking out. Like a lot of talent in that band. So before you go away, switch over to that video, check it out. Other than that, folks, I hope you're all great and you're all safe, and we'll see you soon, and have a great night. All right. So long.